Okay, here we go. Now we're getting into some nuts and bolts, and really, this is how to be effective when you're out there making cold calls. So let's talk a little bit about what you're doing when you first start getting into making cold calls and going out and working a market and shaking hands and all that. And this is what I like to think of in terms of your job isn't to just walk in and throw up on somebody and just say, hey, I'm from local community blast and we've got this new card, and really let's back it up a little bit. What's the very first thing that you need to be thinking about doing? The very first thing you need to be thinking about is asking the right questions. And so I like to think of it this way: is my first stop, my first job is nothing more than to get in there and find out who's in charge of advertising. Is it the business owner? Is it the manager? Or do they have somebody that handles advertising for them and does all their graphics and layout and does their advertising and everything? So your first job is to find out who does that. That's first step one. The next job is to get their business card, because guess what? I have personally made that mistake. I went out one day and I made all these calls, and I got home and I looked down and went, crap, I don't have any business cards. I think I got 3. And I made a lot of stops, and I didn't have any business cards because I forgot to ask for business cards. I'm going, where did I go? I mean, I have a notepad. I made some notes, but I don't have email. I don't have phone numbers. I don't have contact business owner names. And so it was like a wasted day. And boy, did but I ended up making a sale because I actually made some notes from somebody and they actually gave me a check. But that doesn't do any good because now all those stops I made, I didn't have any way of following up. So it's really important just thinking. I always try and think of it this way: let's relax. So let's just relax, and don't let your brain get all clogged up with negative energy. You're out having a good time. And so what is the right psyche that you want to have when you're out making sales calls? And think of it this way: let's go out today and let's have a good time. And let's see how many stops we can make. Obviously, my goal today is to make 30 stops, and I'm not going to quit until I make 30 stops. When I make those 30 stops, I'm collecting business cards. I'm finding out who's in charge of advertising. That's all you want to do. Now, what's going to happen when you do that? You're going to get lucky. I like to live by the saying that the harder you work, the luckier you get. And that is really so true, because just by simply going in and asking who's in charge of advertising, you're going to say, well, I am. Oh, okay, great. Well, then you start out. My name is, and I'm from local community blast, and I just want to stop and introduce you. We're establishing this market area here with our product. And I like to use that. And we are looking for business people that are interested in direct mail. And do you have 10 minutes where I could talk to you, or would you like me to set up a time when I could come back and show you our product? So very low key, very low pressure. So that's what I like to do when I walk in. Who's in charge? Who handles the advertising? Get a business card. And if you get lucky and you're talking to the business owner who makes that decision, then you can just say, well, my name is, and this is what we do. We're opening and establishing this market. We're looking for people that are interested in doing direct mail. Do you have 10 minutes so I could show you our product? Most of the time they're going to say, sure, I'm not busy. Why not? What do you got? And so then you just open up your binder. The easiest thing is hand them the card. Get that card in their hand, because if you can get that postcard in their hand, they're going to be impressed. They're going to go, wow, this is really cool. I mean, so what does this cost? I mean, I can't tell you how many times I have people just fast forward and go, well, what does this cost? And so you're going to just go, well, here, let me give you one of my sales sheets. All the information is right on here. We hit 5,000 homes, and your cost for being on our card is 6 cents a home. Wow, 6 cents a home. What does that come out to? We charge $3.49 for an ad. Okay, wow, cool. And you're hitting 5,000 homes. That's correct. And so now you start a conversation. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Have you tried direct mail before? You're going to hear this a lot. Yes, we have. We have tried direct mail. It didn't really work very well for us. Well, what did you do? Well, we ran an ad in this magazine, or we went in Valpak or whatever, and Well, guess what? You know, our product is really much more effective because, as you can see, can you imagine pulling your mail out of your mailbox and you look at this and you say, wow, you can't miss this card. It sticks out. It's 8 by 10. It pulls out. And how many people are going to look at your ad today? Everybody. Everybody will see your ad because you can't miss it. And so we like to think of our product as, you know, being a little bit superior because it's all about getting your ad in front of the customer before they throw anything away. Does that make sense to you, Mr. Advertiser? And they're gonna get it. They're gonna say, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. When was the last time you tried direct mail? Good question. Well, it's been a couple of years. Okay, maybe it's time to try and revisit that. You know, maybe it's time to kind of revisit this idea. Would you like us to design an ad for you? Another great question. So think of questions that lead them into a sale. That's normal sales, and I know that you've done that before, but these are all really, really good things to think about. So, and of course, I'm going to be very frank with you. If you have somebody that's really interested in doing this, they are going to probably beat you to the punch and go, "This really sounds good. What's your deadline?" And so they're going to ask you, "What's your deadline? What are you looking at?" Well, we're trying to get this thing done over the next couple of weeks. I've already got some people on board. I've got 11 spots to fill. We give our advertisers exclusivity. And so we don't have an Italian restaurant on board yet with us, or we don't have a dry cleaners, or we don't have an oil change, whatever you're talking to. And so you could have exclusivity for this market area. Now, we're going to be doing this market every other month. So we're going to do it this month, and we're working on it over the next couple of weeks, getting it done. Then we'll go to print. So yeah, if you're interested, yeah, we'd love to have you on board. Well, what do I need to do to get started? Well, and I love that when they say that because I hear that all the time. Then the next thing we need to do is get a check from you. It's $349, and then let's start laying your ad out, whatever you want in your ad. We'll have our graphics team go to work on it right now today for you and see if we can't get a proof back to you in the next couple of days. And so then there's your sale. So does that make sense? You could probably listen to this video over and over again as far as what I'm talking about, because I just went through with you what I've done 100 times, several hundred times. That's kind of the normal process. So think in terms of you're an investigator. You're going in to investigate, to get a business card of the person that's in charge of advertising. You're trying to find out who handles advertising, and if you're fortunate enough to meet that person, great. Now, what happens if the person is not there that's in charge and you're talking to a manager? My suggestion is find out how you can connect with them, and you want to set up a time to come in for 10 minutes. You don't need more than 10 minutes. So there you go. Now you can also get a business card. You can also send an email. So we're going to talk more about follow-up in the next video. But this ought to help you a little bit with the pitch. Now, once again, you're going to hear me say this again. Go back to the main website that we have for Local Community Plus. Go to Product. The product page, page 2, and my video opens up. Listen to my pitch. That is when you can get that down pat. So no matter what circumstance you run into, you're going to have the pitch down pat. That is critical. Every professional salesperson has a pitch, and they know exactly what to say when the right situation happens. And part of that is knowing your product, knowing the benefits and features of your product, right? And we have benefits and features. So let's talk a little bit about that just for a second before we wrap up. What are the benefits and features of our product? It's a beautiful card, full color, high gloss, front and back. It's 8 by 10. So everybody that opens up their mail is going to see your ad. You got to drive that home. We are 6 cents a home, which is dirt cheap. So you can do this over and over again for the long-term benefit. So no matter what your budget is for advertising, you can do this 3 or 4 times a year with us, or you can do it 6 times a year, every other month, whatever it is that you want. We've established a low price so that you can do this on a regular basis. And you can test, Mr. Advertiser, you can test market different kinds of coupons with us. So one of the other pitches is we're going to hit 5,000 homes right around your business right here. We're not going 20,000 houses. We're not doing 150,000 houses for $1,500 because so many of those people are going to throw that in the trash and not even see your ad. We want to hit 5,000 homeowners right around your business. So there's another part of the pitch. So are you with me? You follow me? Making notes? Here you go. So those are the pitches. Go back, watch my other video. It's very smooth, but those are the pitches. So the next video, we're going to start talking a little bit about, how to turn them into sales and the follow-up process.